Hi guys, welcome to Brass Bootcamp. Today is the first video in a 4-part series all about single tonguing and accuracy. It's structured in a very similar way to my double and triple tonguing videos. If you've not seen those, then go and check them out. All the exercises again come out of Arban's Cornet Method. Great book for any brass player. All the exercises come in the section starting on page 23, and selected highlights from exercises 1 to 38 are included in the calendar. So week by week we focus on one type of rhythm. The first week is all about syncopation. So if you have a look through the progression of the exercises through week 1, we start off with the syncopation rhythm where we play on beat 1 and then 2, hold 3 on beat 3 and then go on beat 4. So it's a really slow version of the rhythm which starts like this. As we move through the week, the rhythm doubles in speed. So later on in the week, we've got the rhythm, instead of a crotchet and a minim, we've got a quaver and a crotchet. So if we keep the pulse the same, so it's the same rhythm, just the relationship between the pulse and the rhythm are slightly different. Later on in the week, we have the rhythms that is a semi-quaver followed by a quaver, which is so I'll play the progression of the rhythms all on one note just so you can hear it. So it'll be so as well as those rhythms, the amount of notes in between the syncopation might increase. It might start off with notes like this, and then it might move to exercises more like this. So I should really explain what syncopation means. It sort of means out of sync or not on the beat. So if we've got our beat that's clicking nicely like this, ta, 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 notice all my articulated notes land exactly on the clicks, ta, ta, ta. Syncopation would be exactly not on the click, so ta, 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 ta. When you're counting that, notes that are in sync always land on the numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Notes that are not in sync are on the ands. 1 and. That's enough of me talking. I'm going to whiz through some of the exercises and explain what you need to be thinking about when you're playing these exercises. Day number 1, Monday, exercise 1 and 2. These both exercises use the crotchet followed by a minim, and not only is this helping with your single tonguing, so every single note needs to be super crisp and clear, nice and accurate, no splits, no mispitching, no difference in sound, no difference in dynamics. You want every single note to be exactly the same. Every crotchet is marked staccato. Every minim has got a hat accent on it, so relatively short but still accented. And the changes in pitch, low, middles and high, all need to sound consistent. The sound needs to sound the same all the way through. It's all about accuracy. So the pulse was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was quite a quick version. So some of you might want to start at that speed, which is a little bit slower. Sounds like this. No matter what speed you're going, all the notes need to be super crystal clear, really nice sound, centered sound, perfectly in tune, nice pitch, and the start of each note needs to be exactly the same every time. So the other exercise on the Monday is exercise number 2. Exactly the same things apply, it's just a different set of notes. So moving on to the Tuesday exercises, these are exercises number 3 and 4. You'll notice that exercises 3 and 4 use the quaver and crotchet rhythms. So that is twice as fast as the previous ones. So if our pulse is this, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. That would be for exercise number 3. Exercise 4 is in 3/4, so we've got an extra one of our syncopated notes, so that would be 1 and 1 and. Crystal clear, all the way through, even tone, even tonguing. This is a bit of number 4. Wednesday's exercises, number 5 and number 6, very similar to 3 and 4, just getting your tongue in nice and crisp, really accurate, no split notes, no mispitching. Let's hear a bit of number 5. And number 6. A lot of you might find these exercises quite easy, but if you can make sure your tongue in is 100% perfect and crystal clear on these easier ones, as we move through the week, they're going to get more difficult, and as we move through our 4-week calendar, it's going to get more difficult. If you race through these exercises and play them okay, not 100% clear, then as you get the more difficult exercises later on in the calendar, then your tonguing will then become the limiting factor rather than your focus being on the accuracy. So if you can make sure these easier exercises are super clear, every single note is exactly the same, your tone is even, your dynamics are even, your articulation is even, then as you move through to the harder exercises, then you won't hit a brick wall when your tonguing becomes the limiting factor. So I'll just quickly talk about Thursday's exercises and Fridays. Thursday's exercises, we've got longer strings of syncopated notes, so number 7 has got in 4/4 time signature, the extra note in there as well. Again, really crystal clear, every quaver is the same, every crotchet's the same. Number 8, this one is slightly more tricky because there's more notes to play and you're jumping around a little bit more. So playing number 8 maybe is slightly slower, might be a good idea for most of you to start off with. So here's a bit of number 8. It's the same rhythm you've been playing through Monday all the way through to Thursday, so that rhythm should be ingrained in your brains by now, and more of your effort should be going into your tonguing and making sure every note is super accurate. So Friday's exercises, number 9, slightly more complicated rhythm, but it is very repetitive. So here's a little bit of number 9. Notice that it doesn't start on the first beat of the bar. We've got and 4 and 1, nice upbeat into the first bar. Same rhythm, just with that little extra added upbeat. Number 10 on the Fridays, the first time we introduced to the semi-quaver and quaver rhythm. It's twice as fast, but if you slow down the pulse to start off with, then you'll only be going 1 notch faster rather than straight away doubling the speed. So this is number 10. So you can hear that same rhythm, it's just played at a faster tempo. So at the weekend, we've got exercise 11 and 12. These ones start becoming a little bit more melodic and the rhythms are less repetitive. And some people say these exercises are a little bit more musical. Just remember, you've been doing the same rhythm for a whole week by now. So your tonguing and your accuracy and reading of the rhythms should be second nature. So now, after doing it for a full week, starting to add a bit more of a musical element to these exercises stops your playing becoming too robotic. Number 12, very similar, same sort of rhythms, but again, try and add some nice musical shape to these exercises. So that's it from week 1. Syncopated rhythms, going through from your crotchet to minim rhythms, followed by your quaver to crotchet rhythms, then to your semi-quaver to quaver rhythms, then to your more musical, more varied rhythms, but still using those essential elements of syncopation. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.